Spanish-speaking people existed for more than 1,500 years, has, unlike what history has to say, given birth to a large contingent of human beings who are welcoming to other human beings and wish to enlarge their love for the many or few commonalities between them, or make something called a community. Dragon Ball After Future, aka Dragon Ball AF, is amongst the very first fan-made DB fanfiction, non-sexual, stories to exist after GT before BOG, ROF, and Super. Open to corrections in the comment section, please go easy, bruv. What do you think will happen when we put both those two things together? You get this. Yep, you saw that right. Oh, that's the Spanish Dragon Ball AF for you. So, let's get right into it. Essentially, these artworks you're seeing ain't your typical fan-made stuff. They each have a long extensive history. However, we won't tackle every single bit of AF Version Latino. I'll deal with the following, since these are some of the most hilarious parts of AF IMO. Xicor, Zeel, Krillin, trust me, Cellbuuzer, Prohibido, and a super special secret surprise or something. I'll be using what my friends have told me, what they translated from DB News, reference info from fan-made wikis, and from these animations. Links in desk. This is gonna be a good fit, I hope, and a long one at that. So grab some popcorn, some drinkable holy water, you'll know in a bit why, and gather around for these exceptional stories, kiddos. Xicor's story. Now, I know most of y'all who've heard of AF already know about its origins, yet it's best we recap, for the newcomers at least, since Xicor's story apparently is the nexus point for the rest of the other stories. Get this, after GT, Xicor is a Saiyan who, apparently according to these guys, is the child of, and I'm not making this up, West Supreme Kai. I mean, like, no, wait, hold on. It gets better. Xicor is also the son of freaking Goku. What the how the frick did Goku and this guy come to conceive Xicor? Well, according to this wiki page, Goku was on his trip to the Yardware planet, where there Goku met Princess Layla, whatever, Western Supreme Kai. Goku was given a feast, which later caused him to feel tired, prompting him to sleep. Using this opportunity, Layla, whatever, steals a sample of Goku's DNA to create an ultimate being, Xicor. She used the DNA sample she got from Goku to create the ultimate being, Zaiko. What? What is this? Is Sonic Adventure 2? The little Shadow the Hedgehog over here was a Saiyan all along. Do these guys not know how Kais work? How they can't meddle in mortal affairs? How they can't have these sorts of happenstances? Bro, this is what I missed when I was a kid. Yeah, be for real with this, man. Anyway, they show up as the first antagonists and fight the Z Warriors. Just roll with it. And then Goku learns to say 5 and stuff, and Xicor gets along and stuff, and yeah, that's about it for Xicor. Zeel's story. This blue Sigma looking figure over here. Dude is essentially a guy who, like Virgil, has opened many a portal to many a dimension, including Infierno, to get to fighters, recruit them, and or snag a bit of their energy for himself. He has a grudge against the Saiyans. Sounds familiar. Because they were at war with his kind. Sounds awfully familiar. And he was made to get vengeance for all the problems they have caused. Sounds more awfully familiar. And funny enough, dude's a goddamn Toffle! There it is! If Sigma had first form Frieza were to have fused, Zeel would literally be that fusion. Why? Just look at his forms. Super original! Wonder what their inspiration was. Zeel's shtick, if you couldn't figure it out, was to gather aid to defeat Goku, Vegeta, and the rest of the Z Warriors, mostly Saiyans, to defeat them and avenge the Tuffles in any means, since that's what his mission was. And boy oh boy did things get messy. According to this animation, since I'm that least to figure out the story, and do keep in mind I don't speak Spanish, and my friends who do aren't free 24/7 to help me figure all this out, he meets up with an alive Broly, don't ask. He then takes him to Hell, which is a fully red planet Namek, and the people of Hell, like we talking Raditz, Nappa, Bardock, for some reason, Frieza, Cell, and everyone else, including Broly, charged towards him, since he looked kinda sus. I mean, come on. Zeel gained their trust by powering up Broly to Super Saiyan 4. Be trackable heroes to it, but I don't know and I don't care. And offered to do the same in exchange for their aid. They, of course, had such an offer who'd refuse, am I right? Agreed to join Zeel, and he teleported all of them, except Broly and Bardock and a few others, out of Hell and onto Earth. And, as per usual, they managed to wreck a city in no time. The Z Warriors, having sensed such madness out of the blue, asked Goku to teleport him to the scene, and there they met him. Zeel sees Goku teleports him to Hell, where he faced Broly. However, Raditz was there, in his Super Saiyan 3 glory, and decided this time, of all the other times, was the perfect time to introduce him to Bardock and Guinea, who was also in Hell for some reason. Why the flip are they both in Hell? Like, bro, them's the good guys, man. Goku, being touched by the family reunion in Hell, decided to ditch Broly and plan with his dad on what to do. Meanwhile, on Earth, the Warriors are getting murked left, right, and center by Super Saiyan 3 Majin Vegeta? Oh, BBD at it again. Fantastic. Until Bardock shows up carrying what seemed to be a defeated Goku. Zeel then asked Bardock to hand over Goku's body, in which, without hesitation, he threw Goku, and Goku faked his unconsciousness and kicked Zeel right in the intestines, if he has any. Zeel was vexed because he got tricked, and Vegeta also tricked everyone and rushed to help Goku fight Zeel. Well, yeah, and also made everyone pissed off. Outnumbered, he absorbed the entirety of Hell. Like, I don't know how that even works, but that's like his last form, even though the animation doesn't show it. And Goku transforms into Super Saiyan 5 and defeats him to end love. But not really, since that's one interpretation of this story. Yes, as alluded to before, there are different interpretations or canons to these stories. Go figure. In this animation that I sped up due to time, Zeel came a bit more later, fighting these Saiyan kids of which I do not even know who, when, where, how, and why, and winning. Similar to the former, opens a portal from Hell, brings power of vengeful villains to Earth. They slowly spread chaos. Goku shows up, fights Zeel, and yeah, that's about much important info you're gonna get out of that damn anime, if I do say so myself. Did I mention Zeel's other name was Karat? Krillin. Krillin. This is gonna give people an existential crisis. In Dragon Ball, if you guys recall, Krillin and Goku first met when they were little kids training under Master Roshi. I'm gonna get to the point. You see this? This is a pic of what if Krillin was a Saiyan like Goku and trained hard enough to reach Super Saiyan 4. Or at least is what y'all would think. These freaking intellectual mofos have a shocker of a story to reveal to you. They need a simple what if. That's what if Krillin remembered he was a goddamn Saiyan after his mind chip got destroyed after all these years and thus becomes a Super Saiyan 4 easily thanks to training.
I couldn't make this shit up. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. I'm sad that I lack the talent to make this shit up.
I wish you could see my face right now. My precious brain cells. They're slow and going away, man. Cellbuuzer and Prohibido. I know I put them both together because they are both together. After many events that transpired in AF, all of which I skipped because, like I said, can't fit them all in one vidlel, Goku and Vegeta managed to attain Super Saiyan 8. The rest, well, Naruto's lucky, but this is Dragon Ball, so it is what it is. In Infierno, Frieza and Cell came to a consensus. They've had it. They're up to here with their defeat by the hands of these filthy monkeys. These imperfect Saiyans, hungry for fighting. This was it. Their super mega giga terra ultra hyper omega of a plan that no one thought of before. I checked and yeah, no one came up with such an extremely devastating, unforgivable plan. Well, at least not to this extent. The plan goes as follows. 1. Find a way to escape Infierno. 2. Learn fusion. More on that later. 3. Get Oob. 4. Go to Bibidi and Babidi with Oob's body. 5. Ask them to make a ritual to revive Boo. 6. Ask them to mind control Boo so that he may fuse with the both of them. 7. Fuse with Boo, creating the multi-fusion, or the multi-union, whatever. 8. Seek revenge at last. Let me real quick talk about point 2. So apparently, the story went that they found a poor Metamoran, whom they tortured, God, to get info on fusion, and that's how they fused as Free Cell. Free Cell was already powerful enough to go toe-to-toe with Super Saiyan 7, no problem. But of course, as with every villain who seeks a sweet dish of home-cooked medium rare vengeance, this wasn't enough. They needed like, a few number of mashed potatoes, slides, and of course they need like the appetizers and desserts. I'm just kidding, I'm just gonna move on. So the other points happened and they fused successfully. They became Cellbuuzer. Oh yeah, that takes place in a, quote, dimension abundant with negative and evil poder. I don't know, man. You'd think Hell be that, but nope, not even the 4th layer of Hell is that. And yes, Hell apparently has 4 layers, each more excruciatingly worse, stressful, and agonizing than the one before it. As soon as they appeared in the realm of the living, space, the very fabric of time, space, and reality started to rip apart thanks to their uncontainably humongous poder. Goku and Vegeta initially weren't aware thanks to them concentrating on unlocking Super Saiyan 9. I mean, come on now, they're the 2 Saiyans we know and love. Of course they ain't satisfied Super Saiyan 8 and want to go even for the beyond. Xicor apparently had all the answers and taught and trained them both to attain Super Saiyan 9. More on it later. In the deepest part of hell, don't know if that's the 4th layer, but just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna believe that until y'all correct me in the comments. I mean, if any of you even know any of this. It was only afterwards where they felt tremors in space, and they sought to seek out the source. Of course, or it ain't Dragon Ball if they didn't. They find the source, Cellbuuzer, and try to get him into the 4th layer of hell. They do so with much hardship. And this time, Smash Bros style, everyone, and I mean all the denizens of hell and the Z Warriors aim towards Cellbuuzer. Thank King Yama and the Kais, because the Kais thought of the idea and King Yama was the Masahiro Sakura of this whole bloody thing. And it was somewhat pointless, since each felt defeated. Goku and Vegeta had to find a way to beat him, since every attack was like blowing air at his face. So guess who conveniently shows up to the scene? Freaking Zaiko again, baby! Apparently, if I recall correctly, he reminds them that they were in phase 1 of Super Saiyan 9. And for this part, you, the viewer, better increase the volume to max, leave your ears wide open, pay 1 billion, zillion, gazillion, omnimillion% attention to every letter I spit from my mouth and come to terms and definitions to everything I'm about to say. Zaiko tells them that in order to be a match with the second form of Cellbuuzer, because he transformed and has a few more transformation, he's at that point still hiding, is to reach phase 2. To do that, Goku and Vegeta have to, and I swear to God Almighty, SACRIFICE, sacrifice half of their goddamn soul to reach phase 2. And they both did it anyway! Are you crapping my pants right now? What is wrong with these people? And voila! Super Saiyan frackin' 9 phase 2. Before that, the rest were trying to distract Cellbuuzer, and it went 50-50. The reason for distraction is that the ritual takes time. Duh. Who didn't know of that? Vegeta was the first to finish it thanks to the fact that his Majin Mark aided him a bit. He mastered it and stuff, I guess. And immediately goes to attempt to lay a few punches to Cellbuuzer, and Xicor decides to help. It was X and V versus CB now, and the dimensions were trembling to their clashing fists. Yeah, wow, very epic. CB was a bit fed up and transforms into his forma final. That brings all that temporal, spatial, and dimensional rip and tear back nearly everywhere this time, including the 4th layer of Inferno, of course. At this point, they got like 5 minutes, 300 episodes, before the entirety of Dragon Ball ceases to exist. Goku finished Goen's phase 2, but that became an episode where a fly is trying to destroy a mountain. Real fun to watch if you ask me. So, he went back to Zaiko, because Zaiko had all the answers, remember? And Zaiko told him, yeah, daddy. There's this power I knew of, since I saw many others try to do it before and fail miserably. It's an ancient forbidden power which makes you reach a power beyond the infinite. To do so, we'll need the one who's up to transform. That'd be either you or Vegeta and 5 other Saiyans to give the candidates so much evil energy to allow for the transformation. I don't know what the freak that accent was, but let's just roll with it. The Kais add on that the candidates should start from Super Saiyan 5, since the failures started later. Like, people started from Super Saiyan 6 and 7, that's how it failed, I guess, apparently. And that's how they wasted their souls completely as well. Xicor then continues, I can't be one of them. How conveniently inconvenient. Since sacrifice my soul, thereby sacrificing my emotions and thus don't have evil energy. Like, what? What does the emotion have to do with anything? Goku being Goku wanted to be the candidate, yet they were a Saiyan short. This is where Broly becomes the MVP by willing to do good for a change and help the others out with helping Goku transform. Xicor and Kais tell Goku that the reason he should go Super Saiyan 5 is so that it'll help him control the power properly and contain it. Contain rang a bell in Goku's brainless head, and he decided to use the Grade A form instead, since that aided him to go Super Saiyan 4 in GT. And remember, technically AF happens after GT. So, since this ritual is also long AF, get it? Goku instant transmissions Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Broly into some planet, and they did it there. Xicor and the rest go on the offensive against CB, but they get absolutely manhandled and destroyed. Especially Xicor. He got deleted and erased. Back to the ritual. Goku goes into a grade 8, don't ask. The others give him as much evil energy as possible, and Goku is absorbing it bit by bit. Back over to CB. He was confused as to where they went, and enraged, he scoured everywhere searching for them. By the time he arrives, it was all too late. Goku regains control and finally, at last, becomes Super Saiyan Des Prohibido. Super Saiyan 10 Forbidden Power in English. People have been asking about the last form of Goku may reach. I think this will be it, and here is why. In this form, Goku became literally beyond infinite. However, at the cost of his entire soul. Oh my god. And thus will cease to exist after exactly 1 minute. 1 minute for reals. Yet 30 seconds was all he needed. He approached Cellbuuzer, and the dude was like,
Bruh, you think you're a match against me? Did you not bear witness to what I did to these scrawny, puny pieces of feces over there? Do you really want me to wield my power on you and show you how much of a stupid little bitch you truly are?
Goku replied back, not with his lips, but with his last punch that sent his head stretching out of his body, jeez, and sending him far away. As soon as Cellbuuzer regained altitude, it was all over. Goku fired his universal Kamehameha and killed Cellbuuzer, stopping all the rip and tear in the fabric of Dragon Ball. Thank God. And then for the remaining 30 seconds he revived the dead dimensions and the warriors who fought for justice. I don't know, not here, don't ask me. He told everyone that the reason why he didn't inform them that he will cease to exist completely forever was so that they wouldn't delay the ritual or refuse it. Before he vanished dimmed and faded, he looked at Vegeta, told them that he hoped he would surpass PP, very funny, and looked at everyone as he thanks them and waves goodbye. And everyone does the same and he turns into shiny sand dust. And the end. After all that, you thought it was over, right? Wrong. The extra special Kinder Surprise. There was a story that nobody knows about, even though we do now at least, regarding the layers of hell, where there were actually 5 layers of hell instead of 4, and that 5th is the worst in conditions and pressure, to the point none of the denizens of the other layers were strong enough, quote-unquote, to enter it. However, there was another story within that story that only 2 Saiyans lived there. They are 2 omnipotent Saiyans to have ever existed, as in multiversal threats that can destroy everything by either the simple clashing of their fists or their very own soul existence, making hell their SCP containment domain for eternity. Some say from the fandom that they are each their own version of Goku. The others suggest otherwise, but each was stupid in their own right. It wasn't explained that they have any real grudge, angst, or hatred towards each other, but depending on which theory you follow, they are either rivals, Goku and Vegeta, or just Saiyans doing it for the lols. The purple one, with extremely spiky hair, is Super Saiyan 20,000. And the golden Saiyan with the longest hair any Saiyan could ever have is none other than Super Saiyan Infinito. Note, according to the people, these numbers are not meant to be taken as literal scales of power or level or power levels, since they are apparently inconsistent, but they are used to differentiate between the two, and that's it. Even though 20,000 can do 20,000 hits in less than a millisecond, and Infinito is essentially all the conventional transformations, whatever that means now, combined, except 20,000 of course. And that 20,000 feet though is the single most useless piece of info I have ever heard for a fan-made DB character. Like, can't UI do that or even faster? I don't know. Man, this AF Joyride was one I'll never forget. Like, come on, man. Rituals, DB characters being omnipotent, going beyond infinity, 5 layers of hell, Poder Prohibido. This isn't Toriyama. This is Kadokawa anime plot type of crap, man. Dragon Ball is about entertainment, amusement, becoming stronger, not giving up, and being the greatest amongst your friends, family, rivals, and villains, whilst also giving people chances. Not all this! God. And before people get mad at me or claim I hate AF, I don't. Like I said around the first minute into this vid, I found their stories hilarious and amusing. Look, I may not agree with the direction they took the stories, yet I don't hate their ideas. In fact, I do quite enjoy what I researched and found out, as the means and ends were stuff I never in my wildest dreams thought possible out of these individuals. The only way I came to even remotely have this much interest is ever since I knew the existence of Xicor and BT3 mods, of which the latter is a story for another day, cause Lord have mercy, this was too much in its own right, bruh. And that's it for this vid. Let me know which of these you knew and which of these you found stupidly crazy, or which parts of AF that I didn't mention in this vid were too much for you in the comments section. Let's see the discussion behind these crazy stories and ask ourselves this one-worded question. Why? Thanks for watching, and I do hope you are still alive after all that. Take care and stay safe. Peace. Psst, hey. Just want to let you know I'll be making more AF vids, which will be more in-depth and as accurate as humanly possible on each saga of AF, since I wish to preserve such knowledge, correcting any flaws in this vid, lol, and want to expand the potential of AF, as messed up as it is. So yeah, expect them in the near future, God willing, and peace out.